What if I fail? I've been asking myself that a lot lately. But fail at what exactly? At changing a life that from outside probably looks like it's already working. Because I'm already a professional violinist and I've been doing this my whole life. I'm the principal second violin of the Lansing Symphony Orchestra in Michigan. I play concerts, weddings, memorials, private events. I teach. I have my own private studio. So I'm not starting over because nothing worked. Actually, a lot of it worked. That's what makes this a little strange. I'm changing things because somewhere along the way, I realized that some of the life I had built didn't really feel like me anymore. For years, I said yes to almost everything. Yes, because it was work. Yes, because it paid. Yes, because musicians are supposed to be grateful. When the phone rings, you get called, you say yes, you show up, you play, you go home. And I did that for a very long time until eventually I started asking myself a different question. Do I actually want this? Does this work represent me? Does this fit the musician I want to be? And most of all, does it fit the person I've become? And once I started asking those questions, I started saying no. And at first, saying no was very uncomfortable because saying no to work when you're a musician feels slightly insane. But then it got easier. I became more selective about the students I teach, more selective about the orchestra work, more selective about private events, more selective about how I perform. Not because I love music less. Actually, I think it's because I care about it more. And I don't want music to become something that I just do because somebody is paying me. I don't want to just show up, play something I don't believe in, collect a check, and go home. And I definitely don't want to wake up 20 years from now and realize that I spent my whole life doing things that didn't feel right simply because they were safe. So now I'm trying something else. And this is the part where I might fail. I'm building this channel. Seriously, not just posting a violin video here and there. I want to see if I can build something that reaches thousands of people. Eventually, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe more. Right now, while I'm filming this, I don't even have 500 subscribers, which I actually love because if this goes somewhere, we'll know exactly where it started. And if it doesn't, well, that will also be documented. Very convenient. But I don't want this channel to be just another violin channel. You will hear a lot of violin, obviously. I don't think I could remove music from my life even if I tried, because music is everywhere in my day, in my work, in the way I think, in the places I go, and in the people I meet. It has been part of me for so long that I don't really know where the violinist ends and the rest of me begins. But Diary of a Violinist is going to be about the rest of it too. The person behind the violin. What my life actually looks like. The work you don't see. The gigs, the rehearsals, the good days, the bad days. It's also going to be about what I'm trying to build now. Building this channel, building courses, trying ideas, changing my habits, trying to make more money without selling every hour of my life. Taking risks, probably making some bad decisions, hopefully making a few very good ones. And sometimes just the random stuff that makes up a life. A place I've never been, baking a pie, making Romanian food or some other kind of food, or trying something completely new. Basically, whatever is happening around the violin. And I'll also look backward sometimes at the life I had before, the things I went through, the choices I made, what I had to overcome, and how all of that shaped the person I am now. Because underneath all of this is one question I'm trying to answer. Can you actually redesign your life in your 40s instead of just accepting the one you already have? Because I'm 41, and apparently by 41, you're supposed to have everything figured out. Well, I seem to have missed that memo. Instead, I'm experimenting with my work, with YouTube, with business, and with the way I live, with the things I say yes to, and especially with the things I say no to. And I want to document what actually happens. Not after I succeeded, now, while I have fewer than 500 subscribers. While some videos do well and some videos apparently get shown to 7 people in a houseplant. While I'm still trying to figure out what this channel is going to become. Because I think that part is actually more interesting. Everybody likes telling the story afterward. When I started my successful business, when my channel took off, when everything changed. Okay, but what did it look like before you knew it was going to work? That's the part I want to record, because now I genuinely don't know. Maybe this channel becomes a huge part of my life. Maybe it changes the way I make my living. Maybe it will allow me to teach and perform in ways that actually feel right to me. Maybe it reaches people that I could never reach from my studio or from a concert hall. Or maybe I spend a ridiculous amount of time talking to the camera and discover that YouTube has absolutely no interest in me. This is also possible, but I would rather find out, because the alternative is much worse to me. The alternative is continuing to say yes because it feels safer. And then 1 year becomes 5. 5 becomes 10. And suddenly I'm 60, still wondering what would have happened if I had actually tried to build the life I wanted. That scares me more than failing. And I think that is really what this diary is about. Not quitting music, not running away from being a violinist. Quite the opposite. Music will always be part of my life. But I want to build my life around the things I actually value now. I want to perform in ways that feel real to me. I want to work with people that I actually want to work with. And I want to reach more people than I can reach one person at a time. I want to create things that can exist even when I'm not physically standing there working. And I want more freedom over what my days look like. Maybe YouTube becomes a part of how I do that. Maybe something I haven't even thought of yet becomes part of it. That's what I want to find out. And you're going to see the whole thing, not just violin performances. You will see my actual life, behind the scenes, work, home, things that have absolutely nothing to do with violin, except that they're happening to someone who has spent her entire life being a violinist. And somehow, music always finds its way in anyway. There were people in my life who wanted me to stop playing. Some thought I should get a normal job. Some thought I should become a secretary. Some wanted me to basically become their assistant. They couldn't understand why I kept choosing music. Those people aren't really part of my life anymore, but my violin is. So maybe at 41, the next experiment is learning to trust that instinct a little more. I don't have a master plan. I do have a notebook, and there are a lot of things written in it. And some of them are probably terrible ideas. We'll find out. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm building towards something instead of just responding to whatever comes next. And yes, I could fail. This channel could go nowhere. Some of the experiments could be disasters. I might change my mind about things. I probably will. But maybe failure isn't the worst outcome. Maybe the worst outcome would be never giving myself a chance to find out who I can become if I finally did things my own way. So, if you've made it this far, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Florina. I'm a professional violinist. I'm 41. I have fewer than 500 subscribers, and I'm trying to redesign my life. This is the diary of a violinist. Let's see where it goes.